I was working 60-hour weeks trying to prove my worth, coming home too tired to enjoy the life I'm supposedly working for. Sound familiar? That's what happens constantly when we're measuring ourselves against other people. We overwork, overcommit, and burn ourselves out trying to keep up. The average person spends 2.5 hours every single day comparing themselves to other people. That's like watching a whole Lord of the Rings movie every day, just to feed that feeling that you're falling behind. And get this, Harvard research shows that comparison actually hurts your brain the same way physical pain does. So all that Instagram scrolling, it's basically like having a standing appointment with yourself, hurting your own feelings. Hey there, I'm Dr. Amirah Hall, and I've been an energy psychologist for over 24 years. And I help people break free from those mental patterns that just keep you stuck. What if that energy that you're wasting on comparison could actually be moving you forward instead? In the next few minutes, I want to teach you why comparison is secretly draining your battery and messing up with your progress. How to shift from feeling stuck to feeling unstoppable. And 3 practical steps that you can take to get your focus back and reach your goals without constantly looking at what everyone else is doing. This isn't just theory. I've helped hundreds of successful professionals who felt blocked to tap into what I call the pull energy, that flow state where opportunities result and they seem to just come to you easily. Let me tell you about Michael. He's a marketing executive who came to me feeling completely stuck. Michael had done everything right, climbed the corporate ladder, earned a great salary, had a respected job title. But behind closed doors, well, he was burnt out and unhappy. Every morning he'd check his LinkedIn and get that awful knot in his stomach, seeing other people's accomplishments and announcements. And he kept pushing harder, staying at work later, chasing that validation. He said, I'm doing everything right, but I feel like I'm on this treadmill and watching everyone else actually move past me. Michael had his aha moment during our sessions. He realized that he wasn't actually worried about his coworkers. He was beating himself up for not being that perfect version of himself that wasn't even real. The game changer came when I asked him something like, what if you stopped forcing things and just started following what gives you energy instead? That simple shift in perspective really turned things around for him. Within just a few months, Michael stopped checking his competitors' profiles and reconnected with what genuinely he loved about marketing, storytelling, and mentoring. He started a passion project showcasing client transformation stories that caught the attention of his CEO. And instead of pushing for recognition, his authentic work naturally attracted those right opportunities. Before you know it, he was offered a new role creating the company's very first mentorship program, and he got a nice raise. So he tells me he's working fewer hours, getting more done, and for the first time in years, he doesn't collapse at the end of the day. Now let's talk about Sophia, a consultant who took a different approach. Unlike Michael, Sophia already knew comparison was a problem for her. She had a successful practice, but constantly worried whether or not she was keeping up with her competitors. She spent thousands of dollars on trendy certifications, redesigned her website constantly, and kept changing her offerings based on what other people were doing. She said that she felt like a fake, and the more she compared, the harder she worked, the more exhausted and scattered she felt. She said that her clients could sense that she wasn't confident. Now, Sophia committed herself to working with my neuroscience and quantum approach. Rather than trying to completely stop comparing, which rarely works, she learned to redirect her mental energy towards her authentic path. She became more focused, less competitive, and started to see how comparison was literally draining her energy resources for creativity and problem solving. So what's really happening when we fall into these comparison traps? Comparison puts you in what I call that push energy, and it's exhausting you daily. You know that push energy? It's like constantly checking your competitors' Instagram for the 10th time, and then spending your afternoon feeling behind. It's saying yes to projects that you don't really have time for because everyone else is doing it, and you have to do more. It's that constant feeling of swimming upstream, wearing you out while it's barely moving you forward. This is why typical motivation techniques often fail us. And as Mel Robbins points out,
Motivation's garbage.
motivation alone isn't enough because it keeps you caught in a comparison cycle. You need a system to break free. One of my clients put it perfectly. He said, I was working 60-hour weeks, trying to prove my worth, then coming home way too tired to enjoy the life I'm supposedly working for. Research shows that comparison stress increases our cortisol level, literally shutting down your creative brain when you need it the most. In contrast, pull energy feels magnetic. It's like walking into meetings and being fully present and confident with your own unique approach. It's sending proposals without obsessively checking to see what other people are charging. It's actually being happy for your colleagues' success because you're secure in your own path. As another one of my clients shared with me, I spent years trying to be the louder version of everyone else. Now I'm just becoming the clearest version of myself, and that's what people wanted all along. So pull energy isn't passive, it's powerful. It's built on self-respect, healthy boundaries, and genuine gratitude for others rather than anxious comparison. The principle is at the heart of the change we're about to create. By intentionally redirecting your focus, you'll shift your energy from comparison to creation.
Here's what makes comparison so dangerous. It doesn't just make us feel inadequate. Instead of recognizing our own path, we keep looking sideways, chasing a version of success that was never meant for us. And the cost? Joy, peace, confidence, the ability to simply be present in our own lives without feeling like we're always behind.
Comparison is the thief of joy, but also energy, innovation, and authenticity. The good news is you can shift from push to pull with the right approach, which I'm going to show you next. Here's my transformational formula to shift from the comparison-driven push energy to the flow state pull energy. The moment you notice comparison triggering that familiar stress response, pause and ask yourself, is this comparison helping me grow or just feeding my insecurity? What specifically am I admiring in that person or situation? How can I honor that quality in my own unique way? This creates a pattern interrupt that literally rewires your neural pathways. For example, one client realized she wasn't actually envious of her colleague's promotion, but she admired how confidently he presented his ideas. Instead of feeling inadequate, she focused on developing her own authentic style, which worked way better than trying to copy his approach. For the next week, track everything you do using this simple framework. Does this activity drain me? Push. Or does this energize me? Pull. And does this move me toward my authentic goals or someone else's definition of success?
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
Most people focus on what's missing rather than what's compelling. And this audit will show you something eye-opening. About 70% of what's draining you is rooted in comparison. Comparison-based activities that aren't aligned to your true strengths or values. I had a client who discovered he was spending over 2 hours every day scrolling through industry news and competitor updates, always finishing feeling like he's behind and anxious. When he redirected just half of the time to developing his own unique approach, everything changed. So based on your energy audit, restructure your daily routine using this ratio. 80% of your focus on your unique zone of genius, activities where you experience that pull energy. 20% on necessary but less energizing tasks, managed in contained time blocks. And 0% on comparison-driven busy work that neither serves you or energizes you. Create what I call a comparison-free zone, dedicating times and spaces where you commit to creating rather than consuming. Start with 30 minutes a day, then expand as you feel the shift in your energy and the output. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And this formula gives you the system for sustainable energy management. One of my clients, a creative director, made a simple rule: no email or social media until she completed 2 hours of original design work every morning. Within a month, she produced a campaign that won her team an award, something they'd all been trying to achieve for years. So when you consistently use these steps, here's what happens. Number one, energy freedom. Within days, you'll experience what I call an energy recovery. You get back 2 to 3 hours of mental and emotional bandwidth that was previously lost to comparison loops. Many of my clients feel lighter. They feel more focused almost immediately. Number two, confidence boost. That constant background anxiety of not measuring up begins to dissolve, and it's replaced with this growing confidence in your authentic path. One client described it as finally taking off a heavy backpack she didn't realize she was carrying. And number three, effortless achievement. As you consistently redirect your energy from comparison to creation, you're going to experience that flow state more often, being in that zone where time disappears and your best work emerges naturally. Your effectiveness doesn't just improve a little, it compounds. And in today's overcrowded professional world, authentic experience really stands out. While others exhaust themselves copying each other, your liberated energy creates a magnetic force that draws to you and attracts the right opportunities, connections, and recognition. Comparison isn't just stealing your happiness, it's hijacking your energy. It's diluting your unique talents, and it's blocking you from that flow state where your greatest contributions happen. The shift from push to pull energy isn't about working less, though that often can happen. It's about working from a place of aligned power rather than scattered insecurity. And the sooner you implement these three steps, the comparison circuit breaker, the energy audit, and the 80-20 focus formula, the faster you're going to experience freedom and momentum that comes along with breaking the comparison cycle. As Maya Angelou wisely said, you can only become truly accomplished at something that you love. So don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things that you love and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. If you found this approach helpful, I'd love to help you take it deeper. To learn more about reclaiming your energy and accessing your authentic power, go ahead and click the link in the description. Remember, comparison creates push, but authenticity creates a pull. Your energy is the most valuable resource. It's time to stop leaking it and start leveraging it.